George Perez, and last week was my very first time up here. And I did better than I hoped I would have. I did.
Are you taking off your clothes?
So, no, I'm not taking off my clothes. Not here in person, but in my stories I will.
Yeah!
I don't know who was here last week, but last week I told a story about my very first visit to a red light district in Okinawa, Japan. Now, in this location, I encountered a lady dressed in cosplay, dressed as a nurse, and she did some strange things to me. The lady motorboated my penis. The lady did strange moans, as you've seen in Asian porn. But the story goes on, and I will continue it. So, where I ended up that night after my dealings with this lady, me and my roommate, we walked on, and we encountered another lady. And this lady, much older than the last, and she was very intimidating by her appearance because this lady had a giant koi fish tattooed on her back, so she meant business. Now, what this lady ended up doing to me, besides violating my butthole and making me work at a pace much faster than I'd ever be willing to work with. See, that's a story more for a private circle, so I'm going to skip on. Now you can catch me later if you want to hear the rest of that one.
Let me hear,
Now,
George.
we're going to fast forward some time in my stay in Japan.
No. Tell it.
No. This story I'm about to tell is much better than the last.
I believe you.
Now, if you have some patience and listen, you will see why. So, we're going to fast forward some time. At this point, I've been at least a year in Japan. I've taken college classes. I've learned Japanese. See, I don't have to go pay for prostitutes. I don't have to dabble in human trafficking. I don't have to do things that are morally questionable. Okay, maybe that last one's a little... That's debatable. But I ended up being in LA for an English class. See, at this point, I'm teaching English on base in Camp Schwab, Okinawa, Japan. Over, like 15 minutes from Nago City. So I'm the LA, if you've been to college, you have your LAs, your young people that help the instructor teach a class. So I am this LA for this guy, Mr. Iha, Sensei Iha. Bless that man, great guy. So I'm helping this man teach English. And after class, I met her. I met the next girl that I dated for 8 months. And this girl, see, she came up to me after class and she asked me, where is the bar? Because there is a bar down the street from the classroom. And when you're inside the base, because see, these Japanese locals would come into the base to learn English because it's a community outreach program. And down the street was the bar on base. So she asked me, where's the bar? And I point. It's right down the street, right over there. That big, brightly lit building. It's right there. And she goes, no, I don't know. See, and at this point, I'm like, yo, this lady, why is it not registering? But I was wrong, see. It wasn't registering with me. See, because that's the thing with girls. Girls, see, they want you to figure it out, They give you the clues.
They give you the clues?
Fellas, we all know this. Because you know your lady is never direct with you.
Absolutely.
She will give you the clues.
I'm fine.
She wants you to connect the dots.
There you go.
And figure it out. So see, it wasn't her that was the stupid one. It was me. See, because at this age, I'm still 19. I don't know any better. And I'm thinking with the other head. But my game sucks. My game is weak. And I don't know any better.
My game is weak.
So this young lady, I told her well, do you want me to go with you over there because you can't figure this out? And she's like, yes. Duh. So I go with her and I jump in her little tiny, what do they call it? A key cart, a little tiny box, the Scion, XB or whatever, it's Toyota BB over there. No, this lady, she drove a little Mitsubishi box. And God, did it suck to fuck her in that thing. This thing is some model they don't even sell here in the US. It's called the Mitsubishi EK Wagon. Like, you could only find this shit playing Gran Turismo if you got a PlayStation. So this lady drove me in this little tiny box down the street and fucking wheels that are probably like not even wider than bicycle tires. And she drove me down there to this place. And we're inside the bar, and we're getting a drink, and I'm chatting her up, I'm getting to know her better. It turns out she's 26, I'm 19. She's a dispatcher for some truck company, whatever, I'm just a Marine. And then she tries to light up inside. She tries to light up a cigarette inside. I'm like, wait. No, like, listen, like, American law applies inside a military base. Just because you're in Japan, but you're inside a base doesn't mean that you could just sit there and do whatever the hell you normally do in Japan. See, our laws apply overseas within the perimeter of land leased to U.S. soil. So I told her, no, you can't light up here. You can smoke outside. And if you want, I'll join you. And so I joined her. Now this next part is a turning point of this story, because this is where stuff starts to get really weird. So I'm warning you all in advance, and if you don't like graphic stuff, please step outside, because this is going to get really funny if you got the humor for it, or really disgusting.
Yeah.
So here's
The horror.
no rubbers were used. No, yes I did use a rubber.
Ew. Wait.
Eventually I stopped. She was on birth control. But I go outside with this girl, and she lights up. And the one line, you see, sometimes there's a pickup line. Sometimes there's just a little golden nugget that you drop as a man that wins that girl's heart. But there wasn't a golden nugget. There wasn't a pickup line. If you want to know the one thing that won this girl's heart was this. It was, of all things, it was a nursery rhyme. See, because I grabbed this girl's hand. And I taught her, because her English was broken.
Which one?
And my Japanese wasn't perfected. But I told her, this little piggy went to the market. This little piggy went home. This little piggy went wee, all the way home. So one number later, and a couple dates, next thing you know, I'm dating this girl. I convinced her to date my 19-year-old ass despite her being 26. I talked her into it somehow, some way, in that tiny freaking Mitsubishi box. And this girl got with me eventually. So there was a night where we were doing a roll in the hay, and we started hooking up and stuff. And see, at the time, there's a lot of stuff that was unchecked on the bucket list. A lot of stuff was unchecked. One of them being a facial. See, because that's the thing. Dudes get off to that. Guys like to, be degrading and come on a girl's face. And it's strange that something like that arouses us. Because, if anything, it's kind of comedic if you look at it. Like
Corporal Perez.
It's like throwing a pie in somebody's face. Like a pie, like a whipped cream pie, like on Nickelodeon, for those of us old enough to remember that.
Slime time!
But this girl, she wasn't having any of that. She wasn't down to get hand lotion lathered on her face, and lotion at that didn't come from hands or a bottle or anything anywhere but downstairs. See, she wasn't about that. But somewhere, she saw the glint in my eye.
My dude, chill.
And she saw what I was plotting. And she saw what I was planning. And as she sat there and she stroked away.
Jail time.
And I tried to play it out like this.
Like an anchovy.
As straight face as possible. She knew what was coming. So that moment where I tensed up and I jerked, instead, it's pointing at her face, she points it at me, and guess what happens?
Drip.
The joke was on me.
No motion tip.
I got myself. That first rope. Full pressure. Got me. square in the face. See, but it doesn't end there.
Deserve it.
I wasn't gonna go down without a fight. I wasn't going down without a fight, see? Because she didn't let me do that to her, and I insisted upon it. I pulled it off the bridge of my nose. I grabbed a good glob in that hand, and I gave her a look of contempt and a look of betrayal, and I smeared it all up on her face like that, just like that. Got her back with that one. See, and it caught her by surprise.
Clearly.
And to which she took it back and she returned the favor. And next thing you know, it's an exchange of body fluids. It's an exchange of semen. It's an exchange of a gooey mess that nobody wants to deal with.
You got a semen fight.
Yeah, we had a semen fight. So at this point, this doesn't end there. This story gets worse.
Japanese people.
We decide. I'm looking at her and I tell her, listen, we gotta go rinse off. Like we're a freaking mess over here. She agreed. So we go over to the shower, and in the shower, see, now before we step into the shower to shower off, I gotta give a little background to this next part. See, the thing with women in Japan, they don't like to shave. No, they do not like to shave.
What's wrong with little hair?
There's nothing wrong with hair. But we all know that hair traps odors and nobody likes to smell down there in the heat of the moment. Anyway, this girl's hair though. Before I Control-Alt-Delete it and eject it out of this picture. No. See, come on, I'm dating this girl. Like, I was with her for a good 8 months. A little hair ain't gonna stop me from loving the girl. So this girl, who didn't like to shave among many Asian, like Japanese women who do not shave, and the reason they don't shave is because to them, shaving is slutty. Shaving, like they watch an American porn and they see all these shaved ladies, and to them, they think that's like a lack of modesty. To keep the hair as innocence. To keep the hair... Listen, man, this is Japan. This is not the U.S. Everything's different. So this lady, no, she didn't shave. Now, is that stereotype true? Are they sideways? No, they are not. They are not. It looks just like any other. So this lady, with very long, well-grown, I took this lady to the shower. And you know, there's times where like when I had to go down on her, I had to sit there and I had to part hair. Then you put a hair clip in it.
Yeah, dude.
It goes that long. It goes a lot to deal with. You know, there's
fucking
times I had a pube stuck in my teeth.
That's George.
Pick it right out.
That's George.
So this lady.
Yo, George.
Now when she stood under the shower and that water ran from the shower and it hit that furry forest, something happened.
What happened, bro?
That hair got wet and it became a really long Jerry curl. Like this thing coiled down the side of her thigh. This thing was so long, it was longer than me. Erect.
That's it. That's a wrap.
All right, I'm gonna cut this one short because this is what ends up happening. I saw that. I begged her to shave it. She would not. She refused. So eventually, you know what? 8 months later, you know, we had a great date and all, but eventually, you know, we parted ways. I had to break up with her. But somewhere out there, this girl is thinking to herself, man. She's walking around with that long thing hanging down the side of her thigh, and she's probably wondering, does my hair dang low? Does it wobble to the floor? Can I tie it in a knot? Is it black or is it blonde? Can I throw it on my shoulder? If I'm young, it makes me old. Does my hair hang low? I'm Jorge. Have a good night, guys.